Hello guys, it is that Panda guy and I'm here again with another video, and today we're looking at G1 through 3 for the upcoming island for these other alliances, maybe more. I'll decide as I go. Usually I don't do more than G1 through 3, but you know, if I feel like I have a ton of spare time, might as well. So to start off, I do want to just talk about the bracketing in general, and I think that it's pretty scuffed. I mean, obviously, it's always like that, and it just is how it is, right? And all of these alliances are kind of matched up might to might, so it does make sense. But the thing is, there's like a whale in one, and then all the players in another alliance might be just 30 million. Since a lot of these people are very low spenders, that just don't spend at all, and these regions, these are like kind of an average alliance in their region compared to a top alliance of freaking that has a monster in it and then a ton of average players. So kind of scuffed, and you kind of screwed off into like a lot of these brackets. And then there's also the fact that there was a requirement before to have 70 like a federation of 70 days before you could even go into island. And of course I could understand why not for these, because it's region 64 through 124, so it's way newer regions. But in general, a lot of these haven't even unlocked metro yet, which is unreal, meaning that one, they're going to be missing out on like any metro buffs, be it like to fight, and then some alliances might have those already, which is really bogus. And then there's also the fact that like there are federation buffs. For example, if I went into my federation thing, I could use 2,000 gems and I could pop a 4-hour, let's say, training buff, and then people could go and get their training buffs here, and then they have that extra just buff. It's just a little bit stupid to me. I mean, it's probably not a big deal to most people, but I just find it a little bit idiotic. But yeah, now we are going to talk about this. I've just been blabbing a bit. So to start off, I want to talk about the Love family. These guys are from region 100, and they are some beasts. Of course, this alliance right here is much smaller. Their top dude is 30 million, so they aren't going to be an extreme amount of help. And of course, big loves right here are going to be the main killers of this bracket. If you ask me, I think that they're going to have the biggest impact, and you will see here. So you start off, their top dude is 100 and about 90 million. Pretty solid gear if you ask me right here. He's put in a pretty good chunk of money here. Next, we are looking at his second player. Sorry guys, sometimes I have to catch my breath. He's also 100 million. You can guess these are both tier 6 players. He's second in the region. It might actually, I'm actually stupid. I'm thinking this is his all actually, because if you guys look at the profile picture, you look at the names, dude has, I swear, this guy's all is 100 million. In region 100 already. That's gonna be wild. The name is also kind of similar here, so I'm praying like this isn't some these might just be people naming after each other. That's gonna be crazy if they are all, I mean, these are all tigers, so I'm not really sure about all the R4s right here, if these are all alternate accounts, which if that is the case, that is absolutely nuts. Even the gear on this account, pretty solid. But yeah, you guys see there's a possibility that this 80 million guy does have tier 6, though. For 2 million kills, you can guess he might not be a fighter. I'm not sure if he's going to be garrison captaining at all. But the point is, these guys do have a pretty decent amount of tier 6 players, as well as just the fact they are Korean. I don't say it to sound racist, but Koreans are absolute monsters. These guys don't sleep. They are persistent. Like, there's no shot. I like these guys already just being Korean, like, give off that vibe, right? They're gonna be super organized, probably, just from what I've experienced with Korean alliances. I also hear that I was told that these might be Taiwanese. I thought they were gonna be Korean, but maybe Taiwanese. I don't know. They do have some pretty big players, being their like leader right here, who actually has better gear than the dude you saw in the other alliance, like the top guy who was 180 million. So she definitely invested, or he definitely invested. I heard it's a dude, invested more wisely in their gear here. So definitely, if they have to go head to head on garrison duty, definitely gonna see like kind of the odds in her favor. I'm also like not 100% sure if Region 100 has Metro unlocked yet. By the time of Island, you guess that they should have Metro, right? Yeah, they don't even have Metro unlocked. I'm looking on another account. No wonder. So you can see that. So for like region 100ish to like 124, not gonna have Metro. You can kind of see here he didn't have like the president title, so that's already a disadvantage going in. And there's like I said, the fact of gear. If they had to go head to head on towers, I think that these guys would win trades maybe. But the thing is, like, one, that alliance that we just looked at has a big power gap on these guys of about 1 billion, meaning that they just have way more troops to spare. And there's also just there's just less whales. I mean, there's of course the big guy here. Then you got the 100 mil here who has pretty decent gear as well. And then just you don't have many whales here compared to the other lines. You have another 100 mil, definitely big fighter here probably. And you can just look at this alliance here and kind of tell the gap here, right? Where they just have way more of a balance of higher tier players. I wouldn't say these guys are high tier in general, but they definitely are higher tier comparable. You see a lot more like 50 millions, and a lot of these players are probably free to play to no spender, and just, I don't know, man, like you can see it kind of drops off right away to 30 mil lower, and that just means that these guys, I honestly think unless they make a deal with Loves, they will be stuck in last place if they get pushed by Loves and they just can't hold on, right? And I think that is very possible to make a deal and they just destroy the rest of the island. That, or they, you know, if they're like just fighters who want to have a really big brawl, they're going to go head to head. And then these other alliances are just here to exist, right? Because I mean, if you look at the rest of these alliances, there is nothing. There is nothing that can really do anything. 53 million. Like, he's not weak, right, for his region or anything probably. But when you put him in this bracket, he can't hold any towers, even as garrison captain. Just going to be trading bad. Top dude is like, what, 20 million here? Nothing they can do. I mean, it's the same with all these other alliances. Top guy is what, 24 million right here. Absolutely just terrible. Yeah, I mean, dude, like, even if these guys tried to help, right, or align themselves with one of these alliances, I can't see them doing anything. Even if they're running on the field, I feel that these whales would just milk them for kills, right? Like, there's absolutely no point to fight that. It just makes zero sense. So, in general, it's going to be those two main alliances that have the big play in the bracket. Like, all those other alliances are just slaughter, right? Like, it sounds rude, but it's true. Like, those alliances have very little play. Now we are looking at G2. So you see a little bit of kind of a more balanced alliance here, I think, on the upper end. I mean, you got a little bit more, and then it just drops and you got a lot of 20 mils. I mean, the top dude looks like he's solid. Right here, yeah. Metro, probably not unlocked yet. Yeah, 80 million. I mean, dude, I just can't imagine them like really doing much against freaking whales at this point of the game. You know, it's just way too overwhelming. You got too many alliances that just don't have whales, and they're put into this bracket, and they're absolutely screwed. Like this alliance, like one player alone like this is going to be the reason that they would dominate all these other alliances, and they can do nothing. And I mean, it just is how it is. You got a 135 mil guy here, another 100 mil as well, probably at least two tier 6, and then the rest are just pretty relatively small in comparison. So I mean, the most they can do is garrison duty, and then you have the two whales maybe trying to dominate the field for them. Like, dude, the thing is, even if you have a ton of, let's say, 30 million swarm the field from all these alliances to fight their whales, you can swarm all you want, but you're going to be trading negative no matter what you do. At 30 million might, there's just no shot. You know, like, these brackets are totally scuffed. The only alliances here that I really can do anything is Dom 1, Core, and ROK. And I mean, there's also Core here with 2 R's, and I'm guessing that these are from the same federation, right? Or actually, never mind. Sorry, it's just a lot of Korean alliances. But since they are both Korean, I'm guessing you might see these two align. Maybe they're going to take out Dom and ROK, and then you just see these other alliances, and the most they can really do is try to leech out the top ones. I think they just do their best to leech. I mean, I say leech in the best way possible, because I mean, what can these alliances do other than leech, right? I mean, that's exactly what I would do. This alliance, top dude's 50 million. You got DJRM here. These like the thing is, I can't even look at the might of these alliances, because if you don't have a whale, this is well meta here. This is literally well meta. You have no place here if you have nobody who can really hold 30 million top guy there. They are screwed, right? Like, they are utterly screwed unless they leech onto another alliance. I want to say for HAOO, I saw these guys fighting. They are extremely coordinated. They were just really good at keeping rallies full, just the top guy here seemed really smart. They don't have like a ton of whales, but honestly, just from knowing like how good of a fighter this dude is, I can imagine these guys take first. Like right off the bat, I don't care who the enemies are, even if they have like a might disadvantage and they have like whale gap. I feel that dude is gonna carry his alliance, right? Like that dude looks like a freaking beast, and he's just really smart about how to play. I saw him in action, so I have more of an idea on how they would kind of fare. Yeah, I mean, you got another alliance here, kind of outdoing HAOO, but I think if these two fought head to head, I mean, one, their whale is a bit smaller, but I mean, still tier 6. I'm sure the gear is still going to have an impact and stuff. I mean, you have this set 80 mil, that could really do something. If he has tier 6, right, like 7 million kills, that already tells me that he's not a fighter. I mean, of course, these are newer regions, so you can't really judge them off kills yet, you know, like a lot of them just won't fight in their region because they don't want to kill it off, which is very reasonable. So it's kind of hard to tell who's a fighter since a lot of these guys do have low kills as it is their first island. But yeah, I think the main alliances here are going to be Seoul, FL64, and then kind of HAOO. Depending on how alliances align here, I could see these guys maybe being taken out, but it's so hard to imagine since just so many of these alliances are just so small, right? Like you literally get slaughtered. And like I said, I saw this guy in action. He's a smart fighter. I wouldn't, you know, be able to say anything about FL64 or Seoul because I haven't seen them fight, obviously. But just in general, like I just have a lot of expectations for these guys compared to some of these other alliances. I don't know. I could see them taking first, and I could see them maybe making agreements with these guys. It's really hard to tell because I don't know any of these alliances, and then it's also, you know, do they want to fight? Like, are they very bloodthirsty, or would they rather just get easy rewards, make agreements with all the top alliances, and just get out of there, you know? So a lot of this is going to really depend on if the top alliances agree with each other, or if they align with all these maybe baby alliances and try to make them kind of fodder for them to succeed, right? Because even like although I say these alliances are small, they still have, you know, I guess somewhat might. They could still try to drain out the whales. It's just the cost they would be taking to do it is so overwhelming that it's pointless, right? You're better off taking your level 6 at this point and trying to leech off an alliance and maybe getting a level 7 and just giving up mid completely, right? Just give that up, maybe help as best you can on the field. I wouldn't really fight towers or anything. I just can't see most of these alliances having an impact at all, and reasonably so. It's not their fault. They're just totally overwhelmed. But that was just me talking about these brackets. I just wanted to blabber a bit about G1 through 3, and I do hope you guys enjoyed. And you know, you guys can tell me your thoughts in the comments about this matchmaking, what you guys think about it and all that. And yeah, I do appreciate you guys as always, and that is the end of the video. So peace out.